Hey guys, and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. How are we all today, guys? Leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you're all doing well on this amazing, Wednesday for you guys, but it's Tuesday for me. I'm recording this one after the team lists got announced, and it'll drop tomorrow, probably in the afternoon, maybe in the morning. I'll see what time I want to schedule it. But let's get into it, guys. So today I'll be giving you my round 17 tips. But before we do that, let's go over what happened in round 16 and how good or bad I went. So in round 16, I managed to get 6 out of 8. A little bit disappointing with some of the games, but hey, look, it is what it is. So starting off on Thursday night, we had Manly smashed the Storm until 7 minutes left, and then Ryan Papenhuyzen went on a bloody streak. They scored like 4 tries in 7 minutes or some crazy stat like that. It was insane. Got the tip wrong, but I tell you what an entertaining finish. Next up, we saw the Knights defeat the Titans in a game where Edric Lee scored 5 tries and Dominic Young scored 3, and they were the only try scorers for the Knights. Good win for the Knights and good tip for me. Next up, we saw a pretty controversial game, Panthers and Roosters. I took Panthers in this one to win by 8, and by golly, oh gosh, I got it right. An 8-point win there. Solid stuff from me. I will take that. But yeah, you could say the Roosters may have been a little bit disappointed with how the officiating was. But at the end of the day, they did have every opportunity to win that game. So, good win for the Panthers. Roosters are looking pretty sad down there in 10th. Lucky they got a bye this week, I'll tell you. All right, next up, Bulldogs and Sharks. Not a bad game of footy. Bulldogs actually put up a pretty decent fight. You know, they're competing with those top 8 teams. Obviously, Tip Cronulla, but with no great confidence. The Sharkies got the job done in the end, but it was a very sloppy game, and they only just won it pretty late. It was 12-6 for the most part, I think. Next up, we had the Cowboys and Broncos. One game I actually didn't get to watch, so this was the first game when I got to the wedding. This game was playing, so I didn't get to watch this one. But solid game for the Cowboys, I believe. 40-26. I don't really know who scored in this game. Try scorer wise, very high scoring clash, but good tip for me again. Now this game, I actually watched this sitting at the reception after dinner, so that was great to see. Huge win for the boys. Like, this was big for us. I'm so proud of how they came out. Like, they were so good. I was so proud of their effort there. 25% of people back the Bunnies. I actually tipped against my boys this weekend because I wanted to get that tip right. And I just thought, after such a good game, Parramatta played against the Roosters, I thought they'd come out with that same momentum. But to the Rabbitohs' credit, we were really good in this game. Trell Met was amazing in that second half. He was good in the first half, but he just exploded in the second half and we ran away with it. So very good win for us. I will take that. Next up, Warriors and Tigers. I wasn't convinced with this Warriors win. Good game for them, and I'm so happy they're back in New Zealand. Like, they just look so comfortable over there. The fans loved it. The players, they really relished that. So I'm so happy they're back home in New Zealand. Solid win for them, but at the same time, I would have thought there'd be a few more points scored from them. But still a good win. So shout out to the Warriors and their fans. Next up, the last game of the round, and this was a crazy one. So the Dragons beat the Raiders. Now, there's so much to unpack in this that I'd have to do a whole video about it. But to run it through quickly, man, the wind in that game was insane. So many errors. I think Jack Whiten made 6, so that could have played a part into why he didn't get selected for Origin. But good win for the Dragons. The Raiders probably got... look, I don't think they got robbed of the game. I think they got robbed of a chance of potentially winning. Again, like the Roosters game, they had every opportunity to capitalise on this game and win it. They didn't. So, while that was a pretty poor call at the end there, and they would have been given another chance, opportunity to win the game, I don't think they were robbed. I just don't believe that. But good game from both sides. I was pretty impressed with St. George for the most part. The conditions were just horrid, and I think both teams, while they did make a lot of errors, really played quite well in the conditions. So not a bad round for me. 6 out of 8, I will take that. Now we're on to this week. So starting off with Thursday night's game, we have the Sharkies and the Storm. I think this is going to be an absolute cracker of a game. Let me just get the team list set, because there's a few players out from the Storm. So the Sharkies actually only lose Siossi for Talakai. Connor Tracy comes in for him, whereas Storm, they will be without Harry Grant, Cameron Munster, and once again Felice Kafusi. Look, it's hard to say who's going to win this one. This is actually so tough for me to tip. This is really difficult. I think Cronulla are building well. They've got a really, really strong team that they've named for this week. So they're doing pretty well, and I believe they are 4 games in a row. 1, 2. If they win this one, it'll be 4 in a row. So they're building quite nicely. Storm struggled against Manly, but Ryan Papenhuyzen, if he finds his feet this week, he's going to be nearly unstoppable. It's hard for me to tip against Storm. It really is. But in this game, I'm going to back an upset, and I'm tipping the Sharks. I'm tipping the Sharkies in this one. I just think Ryan Papenhuyzen has to do a lot for Storm this week. I know they've still got Brandon Smith, but they are missing a lot of talent. Like Cameron Munster, they look lost without him last week until Papenhuyzen came in and absolutely killed it for them. If Papenhuyzen has a good game, I think Storm do win this. But he'd need to have an absolutely great game for them to run away with this one. I think the Sharks are going to put up a good fight. I think they're going to win this one. Sharkies 1-12 for me. Right, next up we got the Knights and my Rabbitohs. Another game that, this should not be 91% to the South. I think the Knights are getting heavily disrespected in this game. This is tough. Look, the Rabbitohs have a lot of talent missing this week. Sorry. They're missing Cameron Murray, Campbell Graham, who's got a broken cheekbone. Damien Cook, obviously out for State of Origin. Hame Sally is also out. And Jai Arrow out for Origin as well. So they bring in Tane Milne into the centres. Marky Nichols replaces Cam Murray. Jed Cartwright replaces Jai Arrow. Saliva Havili replaces Damien Cook. And it's a fairly small bench, whereas the Knights are realistically only missing Dane Gagai and Kalen Ponga. And they are 2 pretty big outs. But I think the Rabbitohs still have enough to get it done, and I'm backing them. I'm going to go by 4. I really hope Latrell has an amazing game and they win this one by 18 plus. I just don't see it happening. Back in the Rabbitohs 1-12. But look, again, I'm not confident in any of these games this weekend. I think it's going to be so tough this weekend. It's so hard to tip who's going to win. All right, next up, we've got the Tigers against the Eels. Another game that I guarantee you 90-odd% will be tipping Para. 95% tipping the Eels. Look, I think this is a winnable game for the Tigers. Now, the Eels are only missing Junior Paolo. Tigers, James Roberts gets taken out again. Adam Dewey comes into the centre, so that's a good inclusion for them. But look, after that loss to South, we've seen how well the Eels can bounce back. when they lost to the Bulldogs, they came back and had an outstanding game against the Roosters. So I'm going to back Parramatta in this one. Again, not with a hell of a lot of confidence, though. All right, next up, another tough game. We've got the Broncos and the Dragons. Broncos have a lot of outs. Corey Jensen, Patrick Carrigan, Kurt Capewell, Payne Haas, Selwyn Cobbo, Tamare Martin, and Thomas Flegler all out this week. So we see Zach Hosking will come into the side. Ryan James will also come into the side. They bring in Brenko Lee, Jordan Pereira. There's a lot of new players coming in here. I think the Broncos are going to have a tough round this round. The Dragons' only out is Ben Hunt. I think Jaden Sullivan can do a job for them. I think they're really going to miss Ben Hunt in this game, to be honest. And just with Adam Reynolds' experience, I think the Broncos get this done. But again, I am not confident with any of these tips this weekend. I think these games could go either way. I honestly do. Obviously not going to give my Origin predictions until probably the Monday before Origin, so next Monday. But yeah, this is going to wrap it up for me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know who you're tipping down in the comments below. I can't wait to hear from you guys. Thank you all so much for your support. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.